Alright guys, so we're gonna make a fun video today. Just gonna talk about my, progress, my history into home theater, my favorite speakers. What is my favorite speaker? I've had tons of speakers that are not on my channel that I'm just gonna share for you guys and kind of talk about the journey to where I got. So what I want you guys to do is conversate back to me. Stay for this entire video, because what I want you to do at the end is one of two things. One, I want you to tell me all of the speakers that you guys had all the way up to what you have now. And also, based off the speakers that I have, tell me what you think about what I used to have, what I came from, and what I have now. And maybe if you guys want to see a review on some of the speakers that I used to have, maybe we'll get some on the channel. Now, music has been a part of my life pretty much my entire life. And I had a system around the age of 4 or 5. The first system that I ever had was a Panasonic SA AK12, this small little hi-fi bookshelf speaker system that I absolutely loved. And for me, I was really into like that graphic equalizer when the music's going and you see the little the lines moving up and down. I used to like those little EQ effects. I was just into that. I don't know why, but I do remember the system sounding very good and getting very loud, and it was super popular back then. It was like 1998, 99, something around that time frame. It was so popular. Everybody, all my friends' parents, they all had the same hi-fi speaker system from Panasonic, the SA AK12. It was my very first system. I loved it. I cranked it loud. I remember playing like Britney Spears and Missy Elliott and Now 6, Now 5. You remember those battles? That's what I call Music 5, those CDs. I used to play that all the time. Had the little tape recorder in it. It was great. That was my first ever system. But then I had to upgrade. So I have my little cheat sheet here. I can't remember all these names. But my next system that I had was the Durabrand HT3916. It was this little Walmart home theater in the box that I had. This is my first ever dabble into surround sound. The little plastic little cube with a little plastic subwoofer. The amplifier was the subwoofer, was the home theater, was the receiver. It was all in this one little package. And I remember my sister hated it because her room was right on the same wall as mine, so she could hear everything. But I loved it. I played video games on it. Wasn't really into movies. I just wanted some video game effects. And I was so bad at surround sound. I was the type of guy who had all my speakers on the front of the TV. And then I finally realized that you have to put them somewhere. So I used to have my surround sounds way above in the ceiling. Like, I was terrible at this. I was terrible. But I just wanted some surround sound. So I bought a little Durabrand home theater in the box. I was super excited because I purchased it myself for $80. I was so happy. I was like 9 or 10 years old. I was like, I got my first home theater and I bought it myself. I was so happy. I used my allowance. So that was my next home theater. And then I quickly got rid of that and got a receiver and a pair of bookshelves from a friend. It was the Paradigm Atoms. These little bookshelves he had that he wasn't using anymore. He asked me, hey, do you want them? So I said, yeah. He gave me a cheap old Yamaha receiver. Actually, it was really good back in the day. A really powerful old Yamaha receiver, and then 2 Paradigm Atom bookshelves that he just didn't use anymore. And so that was my dabble into, I guess, some good quality sound. But again, I wasn't really into home theater or anything like that. It was just something to watch and play video games on. But I did have those, and then I went straight to the Yamaha NS6490 bookshelf speakers. And I still to this day love those speakers. They may be one of my favorite speakers ever because they were sealed. They had no ports on the back, I don't believe. It was a relatively bulky bookshelf for today's standards, but it sounded so good. It was a 3-way system, had like a 10-inch driver or something, had a mid-range and then a tweeter. It was one of the best sounding speakers that I personally heard at that young age. I was around 11 or 12, 13 years old. I really loved those speakers. I ended up selling them to a friend that coached me in high school. But they're fantastic speakers. They're 8-inch speakers is what they were. They were so good. I loved them. And then I reverted backwards and got another home theater in a box from Walmart. I got the RCA RT2770. This was nothing but plastic. The receiver is plastic, the subwoofer is plastic, the speakers were plastic. It was just terrible. But I wanted to get back into surround sound, but I actually set it up correctly. It had the center channel where it was supposed to be. It had the left and right speakers surround. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was awesome. I was like 14 years old. I was like, everybody look what I got. I got this nice home theater, da da da. It played relatively loud. The subwoofer was trash. I realize that now, but I did have a home theater in a box from Walmart again. I did buy the one like $100 at the time. But yeah, I just wanted some more sound. So after that, I decided to buy the Polk Audio TL1s. They're these little satellite speakers, really nice actually. They're really compact, hold them in your hand. They're glossy black, little cubes, basically, little small satellites from Polk Audio. And I kept the RCA receiver that came out of the box and threw away the plastic speakers and replaced them with the Polk Audio, which there was a slight sound increase. I mean, the receiver is still terrible. But I got the Polk Audio TL speakers and I put those around my room, my little bedroom, and I was like jamming out. So I had the trash subwoofer. Ended up getting like an Accu something subwoofer. I don't know, from Radio Shack. Back when Radio Shack was popular, they had a little Accu something subwoofer, little 8-inch. That actually was really good, like 300 watts max. But it was really powerful and big, around 35 hertz. So for me, that was pretty cool. So I ended up having that, and I paired that with the TLs. And I had a pretty decent sound system, right, like 14 or 15. You can see how quickly I threw things away because that's all around the same time, same age. But then I got rid of those, and I moved, when I graduated from high school, I moved to where I am now. Not in this house, but in this city. And I decided to upgrade to Sony SSC S3s, the power speakers. I got a brand new Yamaha receivers, the Yamaha 357BL or something, 371BL I think it was. A really old receiver that didn't even have, I don't think it had HDMI. It had HDMI, but didn't have, it was like 1.4 or something old. But it was a really good receiver. It's an entry-level receiver, cost me $300 I got it at Best Buy. And then I got some Sony stands, the 4-standard speakers. Then I got a Polk Audio CS1, I think. CS1 bookshelf, or excuse me, a center channel speaker, which is actually really beefy. It was probably the best part of my home theater. So I didn't have matching speakers. And then for the rears, I had the Bose Acoustimats 10 cube speakers that, you know, you could angle, whatever. I had that for my rears. And then I had an extra Bose Acoustimats module, their subwoofer. So I actually wired that. I daisy chained it to one of the subwoofers that I had. And I used that for a while. I guess it was cool. I had a really big room at the time, so I had a lot of space. So I had 3 subwoofers. I had the Acoustimats 10 subwoofer, I had the Big America subwoofer, the F12, and then I had the, what do you call those things there? The Polk Audio PSW10. That was a really good subwoofer. PSW10, really good subwoofer. Moving right along, I decided to step up my game a little bit and got an actual home theater system. I got the Fluance SX HTB. It was a home theater package. Really nice 4 standards, decent center channel, and then had bi-pole surrounds, which was actually very good. It had some bookshelves. So this is my 7.1 channel setup, or 7.2 at the time. And then I bought a Pioneer Elite receiver to go with it. I have so many Pioneer Elite receivers, it's crazy. But I finally upgraded to an actual dedicated home theater, and this is what kind of started my channel. There's the 1 or 2 videos on my channel now with them, but I never was into reviews yet, so I didn't really put them up. But you can find it on my channel. But that was my first step into home theater, and I really liked the sound of these. I was in college at this point, so I was really getting into music and the characteristics of music and everything like that. And so I was really starting to pay attention to what sounded good. These sounded very good, and you can still buy them now on Fluance's site. They're still very good speakers, and they're very inexpensive too. And then I decided, since the Fluances were so good the first time, I went and upgraded to the Fluance Signature Series. Now you can kind of say that this kind of jump started my channel, because I have a lot of Fluance Signature videos that are bad, but they're up. So you guys can see those now. I bought a whole 7-channel system there. The 4 standard, center channel, bi-pole surround, and then a couple bookshelf speakers. And it's actually a phenomenal system. My first hi-fi system. I was still novice in the whole YouTube thing, so I didn't do a good job of reviewing them at the time. But I got some of those in my home, in my bedroom, and then bought a pair of PB1000s or something like that. So I had a pretty good system at the age of 18 or 19. And then I really saw these dream speakers that I really wanted. And you guys, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know my dream speakers. They were the Polk Audio LSiMs. I loved them. I watched so many videos, read so many reviews for years and years and years, and saved up money for years and years. And this is probably what people will know me for. If you've been here for a while, you'll know me for these speakers, the Polk Audio LSiM series speakers. I've had them even in this house here, had them for review. I sold them to my subscribers, which I'm so happy that you guys took them from me. I sold them for a really good price. But those are my dream speakers. The bass response on these speakers were better than a lot of subwoofers that are out there right now. They're fantastic. They play loud. They're power hungry, but if you give them that power, you can play them without any strain. I cranked them bad boys in all the time, and they were barely moving. They took the abuse and wanted more of it, to be honest with you. So those are my dream speakers. They looked beautiful. I had them in the mahogany color, so they were just the most beautiful speakers that I've ever seen until later on in the list. So after I got rid of the LSiMs, actually during the LSiM, I actually got the Fluance AI60s, which are on my desk here. Those are my desktop monitors now. These speakers perform well above their price point. They're $199 right now on Fluance's site, or pretty much anywhere you can get them. But they're a completely sealed bookshelf speaker, which I've done a couple reviews on, so check that out. They have phenomenal bass reproduction. Sealed, smaller cabinet, pretty good weight to them. They're powered speakers, and they sound absolutely phenomenal. I play music on them every now and then, but mostly they're used for gaming. They sound great, and they play very loud. And only about, like, I don't know, I think it's 70 watts RMS or something like that, something small, but they are powerful and loud, and I'm very impressed with the bass that comes from them. And so those are on my desk right now in the nice white finish with the walnut on the back and the sides, top, bottom. This beautiful speaker, $199. You can't, I don't know if there's a beautiful speaker for that price point, dude, to be very honest with you. So then, now we're here today, and this is my last speaker that I purchased. It's the Canton Ventos. Just got these in maybe a month or so ago, done a few reviews, I've done an unboxing, and I've done a music and movie test so far. The review is coming up very, very soon. So go back and watch all those videos before the review comes up. But these, there's not much, if anything, that's touching these speakers in this price point. I got them for an amazing deal. These speakers are like $2,400 for one. The center channel is about $800, $899 I think for one. The bookshelf speakers are the A26.2s that I got. They're like $599 for a pair. They have a little bit bigger bookshelf, the A36.2, for $699 a pair. That's what I got them for, at least. You're not beating these. I got these for $13.99 a piece. These are $2,500 speakers by themselves, and they sound like $2,500 speakers by themselves. Absolutely phenomenal imaging, spacing. They play a lot wider than they look. Like, their sound stage is much bigger than themselves. I can't say too much just yet, but these speakers are incredible, and they look beautiful. We'll talk about all this in the review, but these have to be one of my favorite speakers ever. I just can't say too much, guys. Like, you gotta check the review. Which is coming up soon. So that's my journey into home theater. Starting off with a little RCA home theater in a box just to get my feet wet, and then I realized that I really like this hobby. I like music and movies, and now I'm here today with a giant screen and 7 speakers and 2 PB4000s. Like, it's crazy. And I want to upgrade the subwoofers in the future and blah 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 blah. And it's crazy. So that's my journey into home theater and how I got to where I am today. So I want you guys to leave me a comment down below and let me know all the speakers you've had in your lifetime up till now, and what would you say is your favorite speaker? For me, right now, the Canton Ventos are just taking the cake. So we'll talk about that soon. But let me know down below, what's your favorite speakers that you have owned? What speakers do you own right now? Leave us in the comments so we can know what you guys have. Like if you like this video, and subscribe if you're not already. We will see you in the next video. Kpaceguy out.